Good to see you up right in the ground.
Right. Am I going here?
Yes, sir.
There you go, hop in there. And before we go any further, would you give it up for Brendan O'Begliach on the accordion there? What a tune, what a performance. Good to see you.
What a song.
What a song.
It just brings you to a place, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's,
the two of us were just sitting there, sensational stuff.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. Apparently there's a Kilbenny. It's somewhere in Scotland. So the Scottish claim it and the Irish claim it. Kilkenny also does black marble.
Yeah.
But Kilbenny in Scotland also does black marble. So on marble stone there is black as ink. It can be claimed by... But we'll take it.
We'll take it. For the night that's in it and the
Yeah.
weekend we're going into, we'll definitely take it. Last seen on the roof of a pub, the Devonshire in London, with a bit of a sing-song. That was a good night we had.
A great night. Usheen, there's a beautiful pub. If you're ever in London, the Devonshire, it's in kind of Soho, Oxford Circus, run by a lad from Galway, Usheen Rogers. What a great host. To be in London and to, all of that kind of romance you feel with Rainy Night in Soho with Shane and all of that energy. To be in a pub like the Devonshire with Usheen, you just have that thing of like, you found your home in London. Apparently it has the biggest Guinness account in the world.
Apparently so, and there'll be many's a pub over the weekend, I would say, would be pushing it for that title.
Yeah.
You're back home at the minute now. You were overseas with a family
In Finland, yeah.
in Finland for how long?
When my wife's finished, and we go there. We go there for a couple of months, but only in the winter. We go just after Christmas, so we do the Christmas busk, do Christmas Day, Stephen's Day, and then we head over there. And what's lovely about the winter in Finland is it's really honest. You know, it's freezing. Absolutely Baltic. It is Baltic. It's literally Baltic. But there's something about the if you wear the right clothes, and they do insulation. They know how to. They double glaze. They know how to keep the flats are lovely. We love it there. We love it there in the winter. And my son, his granny is there, so it's very important. For you were saying about it's for your son to have his family, and my parents are gone, and my wife's mother's alive. So it's really important. It's really important for kids to be around older people and to have that other generation who'll teach them a different way of looking at the world.
I mean, you mentioned your son Christy there. You're about to head off on a bit of a world tour. Is it harder to go on the road now with Christy here?
It's kind of more important to do it because you need to go out and earn some money. But no, there's a thing like about 3 days before every time now I go away. But I did it actually from the beginning. I tell him, I say like, listen, Daddy's going to go to work in a few days. And he goes, okay. And he kind of knows. He does know now. Now he knows. But he looked at me and he goes, but not today. And I go, no, not today. But in a couple of days, I'm going to go away. And the next day comes, I say, listen, Christy, Daddy's going to go to work. And he's like, but not today. And I say, no. And then we play. And then the day comes and I say, listen, Christy, Daddy has to go to work. And he goes, but not today. And I say, yeah, today. And then that moment with the head goes down. And of course, he gets on with it and it's fine. But that's the hardest bit. Yeah.
And I mean, that's the life of an actor as well, isn't it too, Jonathan?
Yeah, very much so. But because you have your son at home, it makes the really hard gigs bearable. You know why you're doing them. Instead of, when I was younger and I was doing them for myself, doing them to get forward. And now I have somebody that I actually have to provide for, who I care for more than I care for myself. That makes the hard ones easier and makes the good ones even more enjoyable, yeah. Coming home is great as well then.
Glenn, you famously started busking on Grafton Street. You went all the way to the Kodak Theatre and got that Oscar in your hand for the... we got... I mean, for the weekend that's in it. I didn't realise this until during the week that your school principal actually gave you time off school to go to busk.
He kind of gave me an out. Yeah, I was. He's actually here.
Is he here?
Frankie. Yeah.
Where's Frankie? Frankie, give us a wave, Frankie. There's Frankie. There he is. Give Frankie a wave there.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the type of school principal we all want there.
Well, Frankie was really into music, and I'd kind of given up on school. I just loved music. I loved Bob Dylan. I loved Neil Young and Joni Mitchell, and And I was always getting sent down to Frankie because my attention span, also my attendance, was appalling. And so I'd go spend time with Frankie, and Frankie, bless him, really knew how to. He was like, "So what are you into?" I was like, "Oh, I love music." "Oh yeah, what do you like?" Like, "Oh, I love Bob Dylan." "Oh, which record?" And I was like, and the great thing is we had a bit of banter about music, real banter. And he was like, if music's what you really want to do, you should, the summer holidays are coming up. Give it a lash. Maybe I'll make a bit of space for you. And I just took that as I'm out.
Yeah.
I went home. I dropped my school bag. I said to my ma, "I'm going to be a musician." And to my mind, Frankie had always given me the permission to do it.
Yeah.
And it was just that male figure saying, "You know what, go ahead and do it."
I mean,
I won't promise you'll be a rock star, but you'll always make a living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a lash. I mean,
Yeah.
did you have that type of support yourself, Jonathan, in school?
No, they just threw me out and said, go act at Egypt somewhere else.
Oh, you got through out of school? You got through out?
Attendance.
Okay, wow. But I mean,
There was other things going on.
Yeah?
I don't know. There was other things going on.
Things that were more exciting?
I think they were.
What are your memories of that night that you won the Oscar?
I mean, it's a bit of a blur. I just remember that afternoon, Marketta saying to me, "Look, if for whatever reason," because we were getting to play Falling Slowly on the show.
Yeah.
That was our achievement. We were going to get to play Falling Slowly on the Oscars. The film was a small film. There was very little chance we were going to win. We were up against Disney. The Frozen was, Alan Menken had written the songs for Frozen. But Alan Menken came to us early on in the day and he said, "My money's on you too," which was very, very generous of him to do that. But Mara said, if we end up there, I just want to say thank you. Just, you say something. And I was like, I wouldn't know why. Like, you say something and then I'll just say thank you.
I remember this, yeah.
Yeah, it was such an amazing. But anyway, we did the thing. We ended up. John Travolta read it, and the winner is, and said myself and Mara's name, and we just stood, and I went up, and I don't know, I was bawling, I was in bits, and I did say something about make art. That was the one thing I remember saying, like, because
which got a big cheer.
Well, if we can do it, anyone can do it. And then, of course, we went up. Marketta leaned in to say thank you. The music came up.
The music came up.
And then John Stewart was like, "This isn't right." He went and he pulled Marketta back, and then after the ad break, he said she didn't get to say her part. And then Marketta gave the most amazing speech. Yeah. And then we were just on cloud nine. And the person that we connected with that night was Daniel Day-Lewis, because he was there for It There Will Be Blood. And I think Daniel, I don't want to speak for him, but I think he was probably a bit shy in that situation. We were completely out of our depth. And he just kind of latched onto us. And he hung out with us. There was a big governor's ball, and we ended up going with him.
In the same way that you're talking about Alan Rickman taking you under your wing, I mean, you've obviously been up there, you've won a Golden Globe. Like, what's that moment like, or
a blur. If somebody calls your name for an award, what you feel, I was trying to explain this to somebody, is you don't feel like you've achieved anything. There's a sense of relief. I felt just relief that I had done something and somebody said, "Hey, that was okay." But I can't really remember too many of the experiences of that night, except that myself and Cillian Murphy clung to each other. Yeah. And I remember sitting with him and his lovely wife, Yvonne, and we just sat together at the back discussing two lads from Cork being in this situation and how we had to go back to Cork and tell everyone about it.
Well, look, we all hope that we're going to see Paul Mescal with his arm around Jessie on Sunday night. We're wishing her all the best. The new album is going to be out in
April. April, 24th, I think. Yeah.
If you want to, we got to be. Here it is. There's Glen's new album. Don't Settle. It is out on April the 24th, and you can also catch him the Trinity Summer Series in Dublin on the 2nd of July. One more time, Glen Hansard.